and that's why I'm very honored to introduce the presentation from Alessandro Repici, who has most experience in this field of AI in the colon, and he will give us his presentation on current evidence and perspectives of AI in the colon. Please, Alessandro.
Okay, thanks, Stefan, and thanks also for the beautiful videos before. So glad to be here, so glad that we started again meeting each other. It was beautiful. Yesterday I couldn't join the dinner. I understood there was a beautiful dinner. So these are my disclosures. But on top of that, I want to give my most important disclosures. I'm in love with AI. I am a believer of AI. I think that in a couple of years there will be no colonoscopy without AI. So technologies as new frontiers, you can see here, if somebody can run the other video, when we are in the right colon, we have all these flat lesions that may appear a little bit strange, but when you use the latest technology, you can go in very good details of the P pattern, and you can understand that this is a serrated sessile adenoma with this plastic component. So, and sorry, the other video is not running. It was X1 Olympus video showing very similar findings. Okay, you see again another tiny and flat serrated lesion into the right colon that is going to be missed if you are not having the help of such advanced technology. So the problem is that despite all this technology, we have a big issue, which is the missed adenoma. So in a systematic review that's been published 2 years ago in Gastro, the authors found that adenomas and also advanced adenoma are missed more frequently than previously believed. So this is a major issue. And I want to report this study that's been published a couple of years ago from the Italian team of screening colorectal cancer program. They looked at the ADR of the Italian endoscopists. You see a huge amount of data, a lot of endoscopies. So what was terrible that the majority of the endoscopists did not perform well during the screening program. So this is inpatients fit positive. So 75% of them had the threshold of ADR very well below 20%. So this is why we need to go beyond human level performance. In medical decision support, we still are confronted with uncertainty, probabilistic, unknown, noisy, dirty, inaccurate, and missing diagnosis. This translates in misdiagnosis and interval colorectal cancer. So I'm so glad to introduce the topic artificial intelligence. So John McCarthy was a scientist, introduced this term artificial intelligence about 70 years ago in a summer meeting at Dartmouth. They were gathering all together, and they were discussing about what will be the future of research, computer-assisted research in mathematics. They found that artificial intelligence was representing the ability of the machine to reproduce human behaviors. So what is the impact of AI in colonoscopy? It's a very perfect system. There is no fatigue, it's always working, it's not affected by external factors, it's very operator independent. And this is the reality with the operator, with endoscopists. I'm always tired, occasionally working, overwhelmed by external factors. So my colonoscopy is very operator dependent. So very easily, what can be done with AI in colonoscopy? If you look to this mathematical abstraction, it takes to your mind about more than 1 second to get the results. But when you go to the capability of the software of AI in colonoscopy, the machine can do more than 4 million operations per second, a lot of billions of operations per colonoscopy. So it's multiplying, optimizing what we do normally in a much better and faster way. So what is the roadmap to AI for colonoscopy? We have a detection system, we have characterization system, there are sizing system coming, and also quality control. So in the future, this is what is going to be. So we have AI system allowing us to identify any kind of polyp, any size, any morphology, and of course we are going to switch to AI also for polyp characterization, having a precise recommendation of what to do on these polyps. And this is a very nice video I want to show you with the GI Genius. I was thinking that was very normal, but there was a signal from GI genius, very pale, flat area with interruption of vascular architecture. So I looked carefully, I used the BLI, and afterwards I decided to switch to chroma endoscopy. I think the chroma endoscopy with metal and blue is still a great asset. You can see I depicted a very flat serrated lesion into the right colon. So also when we say quality control, these are videos from EndoAngel system developed by Honggang Hu in Wuhan, China. So now the system can tell us about the Boston score, also can drive us in terms of withdrawal time. So if you are going too fast, you drive too fast, is just giving you the suggestion to slow down and make sure they are exposing properly the entire mucosal surface. What is the AI universe in endoscopy right now? You know, there are multiple systems approved in Europe, Medtronic, Fujifilm, Olympus, Pentax, EndoAngel, NEC. Some of them are also approved for characterization like Fujifilm and NEC. And what about the data? Now I want to convince you with a piece of work that we have done over the last 2 years. We have invested a lot in terms of research for AI. So this was the first randomized trial published from a Western group. We randomized about 800 patients to white light of AI. We published this paper in gastroenterology because we were able to demonstrate that using AI, we increased our adenoma detection rate by 13 points. We had a 30% relative increase of adenoma detection rate. We also went to another question: what is the impact in non-expert? So we compared the performance of AI versus white light also in our young fellows having done less than 2,000 colonoscopy, and we are going to publish this data in GAT. Has been accepted recently. We were able to demonstrate that again using AI you are able to increase ADR also in non-expert. So finally, we did this very nice piece of work that is going to be published in Lancet Gastro. We compared in a network meta-analysis all different techniques and tools used to increase ADR. So virtual chromo, traditional chromo with vital dye, water-assisted, endocuff, fuse. So the results of our research was that AI, artificial intelligence in colonoscopy, was superior to all other techniques and methods in terms of increasing adenoma detection rate and advanced adenoma detection rate. So this is a nice video. They show how far we are going with AI. This is the KDI system. You can do also characterization. And I want to show this video because I was in trouble in characterizing this lesion. It was a serrated, looked to me a serrated lesion, and I was helped by the system showing there was hyperplastic and adenomatous findings altogether. This was a typical serrated sessile lesion with this plastic component. This is a lesion that can become cancer very fast. So in conclusion, so there is a lot of evidence on AI. There is a lot of evidence that we need to adopt AI, and I love to read the Financial Times on Sunday morning. This was last week Financial Times with the question: is AI really that intelligent? Yes, it is very intelligent, but please remind to get full control of colonoscopy yourself. You're still the boss. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alessandro, for giving us the evidence. And we are at the end of our first session. Thank you to all the presenters and demonstrators. But please stay online. We have a lot of more interesting sessions.